believe in the gun. And our players don't use it most days. They use it every day.
In my 20 years as head coach, I've used the gun every single year. Well, my dream as a coach that everybody would grow up with the gun, because getting all those reps would make my job a lot easier.
Hello, everyone. We're off to our next presentation by Steve Prohm. Making a couple announcements before we start. This is Tom McDonald from the Board of Directors, the two-year college coach, rep, and Championship Productions. The NABC Championship Webinar Series. Just some special thanks to Jim Haney, Reggie Mitten, Troy Hilton for helping put all these on and all their support. To the Gun for sponsoring. We've had a couple people step up and just to help. Sideline Interactive is going to give someone by the end of these presentations, webinars, an 8-foot LED free shipping board for their sideline, $11,000 value. Craig Reed from KBA and his sister have been taking care of all of our coaches that are stuck at home and can't get in the office, can't get marker boards, magnetic boards, or clipboards. So they've been very helpful. Two other special thanks, Mike Bray from Notre Dame, our past NABC president, and Jamie Dixon, who was on yesterday at this time. Unbelievable, just supportive, helpful. And they were the ones really that gave us all the support for the fall clinics and then the spring clinics that we were going to have. And Troy put together an unbelievable clinic for the Final Four also that could not take place because of this COVID-19 pandemic. So just stay safe. Our board of directors has been nothing but supportive and helpful in marketing and social media and their time and effort of speaking. Championship Productions, Bill Bergen, Nate Landis, and Daryl Bennett for everything they do. But with that, I'd like to introduce Steve Prohm, the head coach at Iowa State University. Some facts about Coach, some unbelievable ones. I look back, he's been a two-time Big 12 tournament champion in 19 and 17. 2016 is Sweet 16, former Murray State. What's unbelievable is not too many coaches get a start, Coach, 23-0 and 31-2 your first year of head coaching. Unbelievable. 2012, the Joe B. Hall National Coach of the Year, top first-year coach, Division I. 2014, the CIT champions, two-time OVC Coach of the Year, NABC member for 23 years, and I think that speaks volumes to his commitment to this profession. And Coach, my first question to you is this. We've gotten to know each other. I know how important family is. I know how important education is. I just thought if you could talk to these coaches and educators that are on this call or this webinar, about 80% of them are high school coaches and educators. If you could just talk about your rise, your education, and how you got to where you're at and how they all helped you.
Yeah, I've been very fortunate and very blessed to be the head coach now here at Iowa State. You know, grew up in Northern Virginia, went to high school, though, in Georgia, and then tried to play college basketball. So I started at Division III school in Atlanta, Oglethorpe University, and then from there I went to the University of Alabama, where the head coach there was David Hobbs, who's actually on my staff now as my special assistant to the head coach. And prior to that, he was a scout in the NBA for a while, and then I brought him on here. But I think the biggest thing for me is Billy Kennedy was a huge mentor for me. I worked for Billy for 12 out of my 13 years as an assistant. He really taught me about the four things that I preach when I go into a kid's home, and that's number one, my faith and family. That's the foundation of who I am and what I represent. Socially, about the kind of kids I want in my program, and then the academic and the basketball piece. I think those are our four pillars, and it's been really good for me. I also work for Dave Dickerson at Tulane. I've been a part of Hurricane Katrina. I was at Tulane during the year of Hurricane Katrina, and so this is the second time going through really a national tragedy or a worldwide tragedy now. And Hurricane Katrina obviously was just sectioned off in the southeast. But we moved campuses, and we went to Texas A&M University for a semester. It's the most unreal thing I've been a part of. And then now obviously going through this COVID-19 situation that's affected so many people. But I think the biggest thing is you see things like this, man. As an assistant at Murray State, I used to ride down to Tunica and go see the championship productions clinics. And coaches used to joke, kind of high school coaches, like, man, you go to all these clinics. I think you could always continue to learn. I follow everybody on Twitter and look at all that stuff and always looking to learn and get better. And I appreciate everybody being with us today.
Done this a couple times, Coach, not turned it on. Three questions there. One question, but three things: leadership, motivation, and culture. If you could just talk about those three things in your program at Iowa State and probably your background and how you come to those things. I know you're big on culture, but if you could talk about those, and Coach, then you can go right into your offensive stuff.
Yeah, I think leadership, number one. I think everybody in the program is part of the leadership team. We have a leadership team to where a couple years ago when Monte Morrison, Naz Long, and Matt Thomas and Deontay Burton were seniors, our theme was leave your jersey in a better place. We got that from the book Legacy by James Kerr. But the number one thing on leadership is I'm the head coach, but there's got to be more than just one leader in this program. It's got to be from I'm one, but also the 13th man, the manager world. We've all got huge roles to play. And, one quote I heard the other day, and I think this is important, is you got to trust people. But in order to be loved, you got to trust. And I think a lot of these kids today are looking for love. And so the number one thing you got to preach to them outside of leadership is trust, and to really, really get connected with those guys. The motivational piece, I think the number one thing should be being where your feet are. How motivated are you to making Iowa State better right now? We've been fortunate. I'm going on my 10th year as a head coach. I've had 10 guys in the NBA. We've got 8 guys currently in Iowa State in the NBA, and Tyrese Halliburton will make it 9. But the one thing, they were motivated by making this program better, and they were motivated by making themselves better. And every day they got in the gym, and they worked, and their character was off the charts. And then culture, culture is, everybody talks about it. You hear in every press conference, and you hear the people talk about culture is not just slogans. Culture is about what you do every day. And you're dictating your culture every single day by what you allow and what you accept. And our culture here at Iowa State, being a college town in Ames, Iowa, where this and Iowa State football are probably the two biggest things in the state, is we have to represent this program the right way. We got to impact people the right way. And that's the number one thing with our culture is we try to impact people in this community and within this state.
Well, everybody that's ever worked in my office has been an Iowa State alum, so thanks for everything you do. And, Coach, go to work.
All right, thank you. Hey, first thing I'll do is get started, and I'm going to try to get to a lot. The one thing, they'll have an email of Cole Christian, my graduate assistant, who put this video together for you guys to see. You guys are able to email him when this ends, and we'll be able to send you this DVD or the film through email for you to get. But number one thing, offensively, we're going to talk today. We're going to start with transition, move into ball screens, ball screen concepts, some of our 41 series, our 50 series. We've been known, I hear, for offense from Iowa State, really back. It started really when Coach Hoiberg got here, and we've been able to kind of keep that going. 4 of the last 6 years, our offense has been top 15 in the country in offensive efficiency. And that's part of style of play, but it has a lot to do with, obviously, with personnel. And in transition, and I'll just talk, and then I'm going to go right to the video here, is we're either going to end up in 4 out, where we're running to these spots right here, and we're having our big rim running, okay? And then if the ball's here, getting opposite the ball if they don't get it. But these are our slots and then our corners, and we're filling all those right there, okay? So that would be 4 out when we transition. We can also transition if we want to be in 5 out and the 5-man inbounds it. We could be, now we're going to move our point guard here to the wide slot, but we're still corner, wide slot, and now we're like this, and we're 5 out right here. So we would either be, our guys would always know, hey, we're in 4 out on makes where our 4-man has it inbounding, or we're in 5 out on makes where our 5-man has it inbounding. Now on a miss, the one thing about our team, obviously we've had great point guards. 4 of our last 5 point guards have been drafted and are in the NBA right now. And then we've got another one, Nick Weiler-Babb, that's overseas in Germany, doing extremely well. But whoever rebounds the ball for us, 1 through 4, is leading the break. And so if the 5-man, obviously we rebound it, it could be the 2-man that's leading the break. Point guard this time may fill the corner. 4-man may fill this corner. 3-man, and then 5-man again to the rim right there. Okay? And so anyone you'll see when we go into transition can lead our break. The only time we do a little different, if the 5-man rebounds it, and then we are pushing it to the point guard. And so if the point guard was pushing here, he got the outlet. 2 ran the wing. 3. We've got the 4-man. We still want our 4 running to the rim to put pressure on the rim. And now we've got the 5 coming right down the middle of the floor after the outlet. But when he goes into early offense to set this drag screen, 4-man will get opposite, 3-man will get lifted, and now we're into our 5-out drag ball screen series, which you'll see. We could also send the 4-man back to the ball side corner, lift, and then you'll see this action right here to where we're overloaded right there and bringing the point guard to the middle of the floor with a double gap open right there. Okay? We're big with kick-ahead threes, pull-up threes in transition, all right, and also rim runs. But the one thing we always emphasize with whoever's pushing the ball, point guard on makes or anybody else on misses, is really changing sides of the floor. So if this is the point guard here, we really want him attacking this other elbow. And then if he doesn't have anything, he bounces it out, and then we get into our drag series or we get into ball reversal from there. So we'll get started here. Cole will pop this transition series on, and then we'll get going. All right, you can see right here, this is Halliburton. He gets the ball off the glass, and he's pushing here in transition, and he's looking to attack right there. We want to play with a great pace. We want to play really well in transition. I think that's the biggest key, and obviously that starts by being a good defensive team. You can see right here, Horton Tucker gets the rebound here. And now he's our 4-man, and we play 4 guards a lot, but that's our 4-man right there leading the break and finishing at the rim. All right, kick-ahead threes. This is really big for us right here. Weiler-Babb's our point guard. He sees Wigginton's outletted up the sideline. 1 dribble, and then we've got Shayok running that wing, rhythm 3. And we are really big on working on pull-up threes. And then you can see this last clip right here in transition is our rim runs. And we're trying to go 1 to 2 to 5 as fast as we can. And you can see that ball goes, never touches the ground. Halliburton to Nixon, and then Young with the layup. Okay, now we get into our drag series where we're not in early offense. We're flowing into our drag series here. And there'll be a couple concepts we'll talk about. And so here we go in our drag series, all right? Pause it really quick. And you can see again, all right, you can see Coach is going to circle Mike Jacobson over there in the corner. All right, he is running to the deep corner. All right, you see Nixon over in the left corner. All right, Halliburton's in the middle slot. We just call that the point guard slot. And then we've got Grill over here getting high and wide in that timeline slot area. When the big guy is ahead, okay, and he has his 5-man in front of him, where you can see right here, the Michigan defender is below George Condit right here. All right, we will crack back, and now we're in the middle ball screen right here with Halliburton and Condit. And then rewind that. And I think everybody can see this. But the biggest thing right here in Tyrese Halliburton, obviously he's going to be a lottery pick in a couple months, but really has a great IQ. But he's got to know his reads here coming in pick and roll. So he comes down right here. Now pause it. We've got to try to make Eli Brooks from Michigan right there, number 55 in the weak side corner. We've got to try to we got to read what he's going to do. Is he going to stay at home with Nixon, or is he going to tag Condon? He stays at home, and then we're able to get Condon on the roll. Drag series again. And again, you can see by the way we play, it's a four-man right here. Again, pushing the ball in transition. All right, pause it. And again, you can see these guys are getting to their spots. Shayok to the corner, Nick Weiler-Babb to his corner, and then Halliburton's trying to get away and space as fast as he can. And now this is a really great read by Jacobson. We don't set the screen this time. It's a quick slip, and Horton Tucker's able to get him right at the basket for a layup. All right, this is important to watch right here, and we drill this a lot. And again, you can see, and one point I'll make, everybody talks about point guard play, and everybody thinks point guards we almost think they need to bring the ball up the court every time, and they need to dominate the ball. Tyrese Halliburton, as a freshman, never played the point guard position one time and almost led our team in assists. And that team finished ninth in the country in offense. But that's because of the ball movement and the way we want to play, getting the ball second, third side, and moving the ball off closeouts. And so you'll see later in our ball movement concepts. But here comes Nick Weiler-Babb. And against the hard hedge, there's a couple reads. Freeze it. He sees the hard hedge. Jacobson rolls hard. And then right here, we call this a waffle pass. And you see Nick Weiler-Babb waffle pass, freeze it. And so that's a quick, he doesn't even let the hedge get to him. We go right back to Shayok. Baylor's hugged up on the backside, and we're able to go right inside there. Rewind that one time, Coach. The other thing we can do against the hard hedge, if we didn't waffle, freeze it, is we'll just bounce it out. We can bounce it out and then re-attack right where we came from into that gap. All right, now, these are two concepts out of our drag screen. Pause it real quick. The first concept is our through cut. So you'll see Wigginton's about to get the drag ball screen from Jacobson. And over here, Coach is going to circle Horton Tucker. When we call a through cut, we want to send this trail four-man and this opposite guard in the slot through to the opposite corner, open up this double gap. And so we've got what we call our five action is now going to be on that side of the floor. And we've got Halliburton alone in the corner over here. He opens up the double gap. Wigginton attacks. And now we've got Shayok filling back up to the top. And now we're playing off drive and kick. One more to there, and now we got Horton Tucker on a nice little pull-up jump shot. And again, the ball is moving. Here's the through action again. This time we got Vital with his head turned, and we get Shayok on a layup right here. Now corner, okay, when we're in our 5-out, we'll either through cut or we'll corner cut. And again, the main reason we're doing this is to where people, Coach, if you'll circle that elbow area right there. When people are really trying to stun and sit there, we've got to move bodies. And so we're trying to send, right now we're going to send Jacobson through on a corner cut, and we're going to attack and space Bolton right here to that opposite corner and open up that floor for us. We corner cut, and you can see how open that would be right there. We get Halliburton, gets all the way to the basket. And then one more time, you see the corner cut. And we get the back cut right there. Okay, let me get back onto the board real quick, please. One thing I want to just show you here when we talked about the rescreen, we showed you the waffle pass where Babb reverse pivots and makes this pass back right there, okay? To Shayok filling up, and Jacobson was rolling right there, okay? When we re-attack, the other thing we'll do against the hard hedge, when they really jump out there hard and they're trying to get here, okay, and hopefully you can see this okay, we'll re-attack. We'll re-attack this guard and try to get downhill right there. We call that re-attack. And again, you saw the through and corner concepts. Again, we're here, 5-man setting that drag. But again, we're going to through cut through, and we want to open up this gap for our point guard or our guard to really drive downhill. Same thing with the corner cut. When we corner cut, we're really spacing here. And as we drive it off the pick and roll here, all right, this defender has to choose. Am I going to help or am I going to stay right there? Okay? And so the through and the corner cut, those are big actions and concepts for us. All right, now we'll go into our ball screen concepts and what we do out of all our ball screen concepts. These aren't plays. These are more the concepts of how we want things to look. All right, couple big things. This first one you'll see reject the ball screen, okay? Nick Weiler-Babb's pushing the break. And again, we would rather play out of concepts, in transition, makes, misses, all right, rather than walk it up and run set plays all the time. But Babb pushes on the break. And now freeze it. He's got to read, if you can circle Jacobson's defender coach, that's what I want our guards really locked in on, all right, is how are they defending the ball screen with their post player? He's out, so now my second read is, how's my guy guarding me? He sees him ready to jump the screen, and so Babb does a great job right here, rejecting the ball screen and getting all the way to the basket. And again, really good spacing. This is just one little action we run for our point guard here. But here's our freeze it, slip ball screen action. And this is Morris right here. When we slip the ball screen, we really want to slip it late because we got to get the defender to open up their hips. And if you can see right there, coach will circle that. He opens up his hips. Monte's got him beat right now. He's dead to water right now, and Monte's going to get downhill. So we've got the reject, we've got the slips, and this is big for us. We've been doing this for a long time. This is our rescreen concept. Anytime anybody goes under a ball screen, it's an automatic rescreen for us. And now you can see again, freeze it. All right, Shayok now is pushing. And this team right here, he's probably the 4-man. And we've got our guards spaced out. They go under the ball screen. You can see we got a through cut action about to start over there with Babb, Nick Weiler-Babb in that slot. They go under. We rescreen. And we get a nice little 15-foot pull-up jump shot. We twist ball screens a lot, or we call it flip ball screens. And so we've got Long up here. Burton is coming up to set the ball screen. And again, if you can pause it really quick, you can see the guy guarding Long right here. Circle that real quick, coach. He's kind of already opened up. He's trying to jump to his right hand. Burton and Naz see that the big defender is on that side of Burton. And so Burton's going to flip this screen. And Long's going right into a nice little pull-up jump shot. And then our three-man side, okay? We can get into three-man side action right here, all right, where we're overloaded. And we get into this a lot of different ways. All right, it's corner, it's wide slot, and then it's opposite corner. And then it's 5 and 1 playing middle pick and roll. And then we've got him isolated one-on-one. All right, that's one of our main ball screen actions that we run a lot. All right, this other action is the same thing. The same action right here. Bolton is going to bring it down. Okay, and pause it, Coach. All right, and we're in that same alignment. Corner, wide slot, opposite corner. But Oklahoma State ices ball screens. And so we see that, and we want to try to get Solomon Young, our 5-man, on the pocket pass and play 2-on-1 on the backside. And you can see right there, we got Nixon the shooter open right there in that opposite corner. And we got to be shot ready for that. All right? This is the same action again. We get into it a little bit different to just get some movement into it. But again, freeze it. We get into that same action. Overloaded ball screen, corner, wide slot, middle pick and roll. And Bolton does a really good job this time freezing the big on the switch. Young rolls. They're hugged up on the backside, so we get a nice roll and layup. All right, this is what we used to call our Wildcat action right here. To where anytime we push, we want our first big down running to the rim, and the second big, they're going to butt screen right here at the top of the key. And this was really good. We did, after Halliburton got hurt, we put this in the second half of the year. Davidson does this a lot. Tennessee does this a lot. All right, Bolton's coming right off Condit's butt. Our big guy's trying to duck in if he can, and we're trying to get right downhill. Here it is again. This is in the half-court dough. We walked into it, and we're just going to let Halliburton play. But we've got a mismatch inside, we think, and we're trying to go right inside off that. And again, you can see, freeze it. We got really good spacing. We got 4 out, and we let our post guy go one-on-one right there in the post.
Coach, can I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah, yep.
All right. Here, let me move this up. First, what adjustments do you see when you play 2 versus 1 against ice or overload ball screens?
I think the biggest thing is, we played Kansas here, and early in the game we were hurting them with that 2-on-1 action, getting more to where they we were really getting the pocket pass against them and getting middle pick and roll with Condit and Young and Halliburton. And what they did in the rest of the game is they made us throw everything to that opposite corner. Halliburton there was no more pocket pass there. They really just tried to take away that. And so, you just have to continue to, get some different entries to where and obviously when you're spreading the floor with shooters, it makes it tough. However you want to guard that when you're getting 2-on-1 on the backside. But people guard it different ways. But that any way we can get that 2-on-1 action with a skilled 5 and a shooter in the corner has been really good for us.
Do you continue the through cut if you're rescreen the ball or rescreen the ball screen?
Yeah, we do, because, and I'll go to the board right here. So if we're right here and we've got the 5-man coming right here and we set this through cut here. All right, and this is always a scoring cut. They need to be looking to score there. So 2's going to lift, 4 is getting out, and we come off the ball screen. Okay, well, now we want to rescreen this, which is fine because we're going to end up with a single side tag. So 5's coming here to rescreen, 4-2. And if you can see, now we look like this to where the rescreen, we've got 5 rolling hard, and now we got 3, X3 in a pickle. Am I tagging or am I staying at home? In this action right here, whenever we come off here, this is a great time to throw back and post up if you've got a really, really good post player. If you can see this right here, to where when the 3 fills up and 1 came off and we throw back, man, we can throw it in the post all the time right there because X5's always behind right there. And that's a great chance for us to punch it in right there to Solomon Young. And so we're big with the through cuts and we're big with rescreens, but either, what we want to do is if we want to get to single side tag, you end up getting the single side tag right there, which has always been good for us.
How might a high school program adjust the break action when they only have 1 or 2 players capable of taking the ball down the floor rather than 4?
Then I think you just number it to where, hey, 3 and 4, no problem. You're always running because you can number it. I don't number it. I used to number it years ago. We don't number it anymore. But I think you can just do it to your skill level to where, all right, hey, 4-man, you're running. 3-man, you're running here. And now my most 2 skilled guys are going to play these 2 top slots. And 5-man's either running to the rim or 5-man's playing off that drag right there. And so I just think you got it with our guys have to know 4 spots if you're going to play on the perimeter. Those guys probably should just need to know 2 spots.
Last question for you. How do you decide when to use the corner or through cut?
I think most of the time it's really dictated when you look at a team like Kansas State for us, Michigan State, if you watch them defensively, teams that really, really sit in that, plug that elbow. I think you just got to give them different looks. And so you're really trying to get the same thing out of both the through and the corner cut, but I think you have to change it up because they're going to adjust. Once you through cut, they're going to adjust to your through cut, and then we'll go with the corner cut.
All right, Coach, go back.
Okay. All right, we'll go back to the tape now. All right. Teams that really pressure us, and our league this year became really an elite defensive league. Baylor, Texas Tech, Kansas, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Texas. We had some really, really good defensive teams in our league. And so Auburn's a team that pressures everywhere. And so we really wanted to try to spread people out. And what we did, what the one action you saw, what I call Wildcat, where we kind of rubbed off that post guy at the 3-point line, now we just extended it up higher. And we put our 5-man at the top of the key. And as the tape goes, you'll see the 4-man's going to be right beneath him. And we put our best attacking guard in the middle of the floor, try to put shooters in the corner, and we're letting him attack off really a double high ball screen, but we're spread and stacked really high. And then we're trying to get him coming downhill, and then they're hugged up with shooters in the corner. All right, here's another. This is out of the half court right here. This is a good action we've ran for the last couple years. And there's 2 things you can do a lot more out of this, where you can burn the wing, and when we say burn, that means back cut. You can post up the big guy. But right here, right now, we're looking for middle pick and roll, all right, for our guard in this corner. So freeze it. So we'll bring the guard up here, and Halliburton's going to come up here. He's going to slip this ball screen, okay? And once he slips it, we're trying to get Nick Weiler-Babb downhill for a dribble handoff. And then we're going right dribble handoff, ball screen. And now Wigginton's attacking right off the screen. And you can see right there, he gets Halliburton on the kick, Jacobson on the roll. Go back there, Coach. There's a couple things you can do off this. Rewind this. All right, first thing, you can see as Halliburton comes up, freeze it, and he slips. the 5-man right there, Jacobson, could flare him. Okay, go slow. All right, he could come up there, and Jacobson could screen Grimes right there, and we could just flare and throw right back to Halliburton. You can see how open he is right there. The other thing we could do, freeze it, if we didn't bring Coach Circle Shayok right there, if we didn't bring Shayok over to the corner, we kept them opposite, we could burn Wigginton if they're overplaying. We could back cut Wigginton right there. All right? And so there's a couple different wrinkles we'll do out of this, but this is just our one main action where it's dribble handoff ball screen. All right? A lot of people run the Spain action, and this is a Spain clip, but we get some movement into the Spain action. So we'll go dribble handoff. We'll kick. And now we're going middle pick and roll again. And again, you see right there, we screen. We get the big on the roll. And again, 5-man's trying to screen that guard. And our guard's trying to screen that big. If you go back there one more time, Coach. All right, we try, and they hard hedge this. But again, the big guy, our guy, Condit, number 4, screening the guard. And then we've got Nixon screening 52. And then Bolden is reading the defense, and now we got Condit on the roll right there. Here's another look at it right here. They help from the corner. We get corner 3. All right, again, we talked earlier, okay? Rescreens. All right, this is some twirl action. We've run this action a couple different ways. We'll run it out of horns action. We'll run it out of 1-4 high. But what we're trying to get out of this is we're trying to get 2-man side, pick and roll, and then the 3-man side. And we have our set of 3-man side rules. But we'll go Bolton right here. We'll go over the top. And now freeze it. We're going right into a quick step-up screen. And anytime we step up screen, we love the quick rescreen into a 2-man game. Quick rescreen. And now we've got 2-man game, and we've got our 3-man side on that side. Halliburton's able to get downhill. And we get Condit on the lob dunk. Here's another look for it out of the horns action. This is in the tournament a couple years ago. Monte's coming off. Again, screen. Quick rescreen. And now Morris is coming downhill. And that time, the only difference that time was we sent our big to the room. And so we were wide slot. If you go back, Coach, if you see right here, the only difference right here, we dove our 4-man down to the slot and played from there instead of what you saw in the earlier clip. We were 3-man side. Now, this was a big play we ran for Halliburton a lot this year out of our 1-4 set. And we twirl over the top. And we try to get our point guard, whether it was him or Bolton, we tried to get them the ball right there in that mid-post area. Once that happens, you can see Coach will show you Jacobson. He's diving right across Young's defender. Nixon is spacing opposite. And this is a tough action to guard for the big guys. They got to decide how you want to guard it. We got Young coming right there for a slot ball screen. Kind of a short corner slot ball screen. And we get Halliburton coming right up there for a nice little jump shot. Here it is again, but we get a different look this time, and we get Young on the roll. Same thing. We get the post up for Halliburton. Our big guy's X. And then we're bringing Young right there for kind of slot, mid-post pick and roll. The big helps. So we get a layup right there with the roll. All right, now this action right here, all right, double stack. Pause it real, coach. You would run this against a team that ices, and everybody has different names for it. Ice down blue. All right? But Oklahoma State ices. All right? So we want them to get to ice. So Jacobson and Shayok are going to act like they're setting a double ball screen. And then freeze it. Once they try to get to ice, Jacobson is going to bury this guard right here, and Shayok's going to fill up. And we're trying to get that jump shot right there. All right, let me go to the board for that real quick. All right, what we want on that right here, we got our point guard here, 5-man, our shooter, 3, 4 in the corner. When they ice, so X5's going over here, all right, we want them to get to the ice, okay? We want them to get to the ice. And when they get to the ice, our guard is filling up right there for that shot right there. And so that's a good little thing we run against people that ice that middle ball screen, okay? Next thing we're going to move into is ball movement, all right? And we've got just a little bit more time, so I'm going to try to go through this really quick. But I think this is key, and I just want you to see this really quick.
Coach?
Yeah.
Can you run any of this stuff versus zone? That's a question from the audience.
The 41 series that I'll show you, we hadn't got to that yet. I think you can run a lot of that. I think you can run the drag series against zone for sure.
Okay.
Because I think you can run all that ball screen, kind of spread ball screen against zone. But if you look at the drags, I think for sure the drags, all right, the through cuts, corner cuts, I think that can, where you're moving guys against the zone. I think there's no question you can do with that. The 5 action, kind of that overloaded ball screen. I think those things you can. Now, some of the other things, you know, I don't know if so. We run some other stuff against the zone, but there's some stuff, and I don't know if we'll get to it here, but out of the 41 series, there's one good clip of the zone that we'll show before we get out of here that's a really good play.
Do you go 5-on-0 or 5-on-5 to do all your offensive work?
We do a lot of 5-on-0. We do a lot of 2-on-0 and 3-on-0 in the summers and in the fall. A lot of 5-on-0 in the beginning of practice, but then I've kind of changed over the years to where we do a good bit of 5-on-5.
You've got 10 minutes from right now to be done.
Okay.
All right?
All
Thanks,
right,
Coach.
Hey, Coach Cole, let's skip over the ball movement. All right, and let's just go to a couple quick hit. Let's go to those quick hitters. All right. This is as simple a play as you can get, but it's been really good to us over the years. And we just try to sneak our post player into the post. And so we're in our 4-out principles. Nick Weiler-Babb will go dribble handoff. Shayok's going to try to attack the elbow, and we're throwing it right back, and we're trying to come underneath, and we're going right inside of the post. And then we're going to let him operate one-on-one. Now, this is a good little counter against teams. Texas Tech is elite defensively, tremendous defensive team, and they really flood to the ball. And so you've got to try to attack them or counter them for doing that. And so you'll see our little wrinkle in this play against them, where same thing, we'll go dribble handoff, we'll bring the big underneath, but when we throw it inside, freeze it. You can see they've got 5 guys flooding to the ball right now. And so what we like to do against them is bring this guy from the corner up. We flare the backside. And our big guy's going right to the dribble what we would call a dribble pass, all right? And he's dribble passing that right to the corner for a wide open three. All right, some of our Mason series, okay? And again, it's a lot of people know us as Spain. We've always called it Mason over the years. All right, but double stack to where, again, the big is trying to screen the guard, and then the guard is trying to get that big. Now, Oklahoma just sits their big back. Matt Thomas makes a good read on this, screens the closest guy, and then Monte Morris is able to get right downhill for a jump shot. Couple little wrinkles we do out of it. You can see right here, we'll go 1-4 flat into it. But again, we get right there. Really good pace by Babb coming downhill. And then people are really susceptible to the back cut in this action right here. And you can see Grimes is lifted, and we're able to get Shayok on a back cut. Now, this is another little action out of that, okay? Anytime we put our guard and big in the middle of the floor, stacked up in any way, this is kind of our one series. We have a name for it. All right, our Mason series. We run a lot of different stuff. But right here, we're going to screen our big into middle pick and roll. And then freeze it. We're going to bring the guard right back up. And we're trying to go right back to the guard. And then right back inside to the big. We got one more clip of this. Again, we like to pin this guard down, pin the big. And again, our guard's coming right back up. And we trying to go right inside right there. If we can, right there. Now, they do a great job, Oklahoma State, helping from the weak side. So what we started to do then when they started doing that is we had this corner guy start flaring the point guard. So if they wanted to sit in the post, we flared the point. And now we got corner three. All right, now we run this. This is just our Mason, another little wrinkle out of the Mason action. We're stacked up, double stack. We post up our guard. Coach will circle that. We have our one guard posted up. We have a shooter over here on the wing. And then we have our two forwards stacked up top. And Bolton is going to try to – you can see the guy guarding Bolton is already opening up, sending him left, which is fine for us. All right, and we're going to try to attack that side and play off their help. Freeze it. We stagger away once he clears. Halliburton clears out. And you can see right here, we got the big rolling. Grill is filling behind. One more wide open three with the help. Same thing right here now. We do the same thing, but this time we're going to stagger away to the corner. We curl around and we open that floor up for Bolton to drive it, freeze it. They really help, but the stagger action's still going. And Bolton makes a great read for three. All right, one thing that's been good for us is as well, kind of our turn action. We're trying to get a shot, need a three. We'll put our most skilled guard in the post to post feed him. We back screen the guard. And now we post feed Horton Tucker, and we trying to get Shayok on a flare screen, rescreen right here. So it's a flare screen, rescreen, and we got him coming right back off right there. If they switch, go back there, coach. If they switch and Gillespie jumps out, if he jumped out right there, you've got the five-man diving right to the rim. Babb underneath the goal should be getting all the way out to the corner, so we've got them spread out a little bit more. Okay? I know we're running out of time. I'm going to show you two or three more quick things. This one action's been really good for us. Again, we're trying to get two things out of here. We're putting our best shooter as the screener. All right, so Shayok screening down for Wigginton. And now Wigginton is our best driver. So as we come off, Bab comes off the ball screen. We slip that. Freeze it. Now you can see we're pinning down for Shayok. We're looking for that. But Kansas State messes up the switch. Now we're going to get this 3 in the corner. But you can see the other read is Wigginton back for the isolation drive. Good screen right there by Jacobson. Corner 3, Shayok. Show you one more time, but this time we go inside. Again, we slip the screen. Screen in. Now we go right inside. We got our post guy isolated for round 1. Young with a nice turnaround. All right, hey, Coach, go to the zone real quick. All right, and go to the 41 step, the Baylor stuff. All right, this is one good action. You talked about can you run some of this stuff, and we do a lot of stuff out of either 4 out or 5 out. But we'll go 41, and a lot of times people put their 4-man up because we call it 41. Burton right there, Coach, circle Burton. He's our 4-man. But against the zone, we want him in the corner. We want our best 2 shooters up top. So Morris will pitch it to Long. Throw back, and now we've got middle slot ball screen. And Morris is going to make the read here. He gets downhill, and that's why we want Burton right there as a corner cut guy. And he gets the layup. Now, this is good to use against any teams that like to switch guard-to-guard ball screens in the zone. So you go dribble handoff. All right? Freeze it. If you can see right there, do you see, if everybody can kind of see Baylor's guys starting to cheat, he's going over there because they're taught to switch that ball screen. So we go right back to that guard, and we've got Long right there with a wide open slot 3. And then when we ran this, we put the other shooter. We've got Matt Thomas, so freeze it. So if this kid right here, all right, is able to take away Long, now we've got our next best shooter in the corner. One last little thing we'll do against the zone. We'll go on horns action, and we'll hit, and we'll try to go right back, and then we'll try to go quick ball screen right there, and then Morris is able to get downhill to the rim. And again, we talked about rescreening. This is the last little clip. We'll hit, and again, screen. We rescreen it, and we got, boom, right into a rhythm jump shot. Okay?
Coach, unbelievable. I emailed everybody or back on question answers to contact Cole with his email address, so we're good there. If Cole could send us the footage and we'll get it out to everybody.
Yep.
You were fantastic. Thanks for an hour of your time.
Thanks, guys.
Have a wonderful day. Good luck recruiting.
Thanks.